Because it's Tuesday. It's Show Me the Money Club Day, Tuesday. Oh, Sergio, what's going on? You know what day it is. It's Tuesday. It's Show Me the Money Club.
Yes.
All right. Welcome, everybody. We got a great show for you today. It may be cut short because, unfortunately, Sergio is under the weather, got a bad cough and hacking and all that. So we actually might not be hearing too much from him. I'm surprised that you said, yeah, well, that you would come on. So, he's a trooper here. He don't want to miss Show Me the Money Club because it was looking like it was going to be a solo show with myself. But either way, Sergio, I hope you're feeling better. How you doing besides?
I'm sick as a dog, but the show must go on. There you go.
All right, well, let's get into it because we do have. Well, yeah, I mean, I did it with COVID back in July. I was on things, so it was unique for sure. But let's do a quick rundown what we're going to be talking about today. We got a packed show for you, and then we also have a special guest that we're going to bring on in just a few moments. So what we're going to be talking about today, we have our special guest from DisplayRide. We're going to be talking about the importance of dash cams. We are also going to be talking about a big comparison that we just pulled off and some of the instances when it comes to how Uber is pricing rides and giving them to us as drivers. Whether you're standing in the same area or not, they are different. And there's a lot of discrepancies that I saw from 4 different drivers that we have side by side. So it's going to be a really interesting video. And just in a 5-minute video, we hit 30 instances of differences that we're going to take note of. So you don't want to miss that because it's going to be real eye-opening on things. After that, we're going to be talking about Lyft, some of the changes that they're making in their language. They're changing their quests, they're changing their bonuses, they're changing their dynamic pricing. So we're going to be talking about that. Also, Grubhub, we're talking about some of them with purging their drivers. We're going to be talking about how they're also deactivating their CEO. And then we have a little special thing that Sergio is working on that he will mention when we talk about that segment. So if you're a Grubhub driver that was deactivated, you'll want to stick around for that. Or if you know somebody who's deactivated from the platform on Grubhub, make sure they get on this or at least watch that part of the video. And then not only that, we're going to be talking about a new scam to watch out for and some lookout for certain things when it comes down to, protection, safety, all that good stuff. And then, of course, we're going to end the show on some funny fake names, some crazy comments, and some different advice there. So with that being said, we have special guest Abdul coming on from DisplayRide. Welcome. How are you today?
Pretty good. Thank you, Chris and Sergio. Great to be with you guys.
Hey, Abdul.
Well, thank you for coming on.
My pleasure.
We always talk about, obviously, dash cams being the necessity these days. Maybe when I started in 2015, it wasn't that much, really. I mean, but nowadays it's definitely become probably the top necessity for a driver to have a dash cam because, not just for, unjust deactivations, which we know is prevalent, but also for passenger behavior, because when they do see the dash cam, they kind of behave better. So with that said, tell us a little bit about your company, who you are, what you do, and then we'll get into the specifics.
Great. First of all, pleasure being here with you guys. I'm Abdul Kasim, CEO of DisplayRide. DisplayRide is probably the first company focused on rideshare and gig safety. There are dash cams, as you mentioned. There have been dash cams, and you just need to go to Amazon and you can find hundreds of them. We try to say we are not a dash cam company. We are more like a safety company. In fact, our solution is called the RideShare monitoring platform. It does have a dash cam component, but that's just one piece of it, right? So we provide, and again, we tailor it to the rideshare community as opposed to a very simple dash cam where the driver has to do a lot of stuff. So our stuff is pretty much plug and go. It takes less than a minute. You can see on the slide there, you can see the dash cam. It's mounted on the windshield. Basically, you just peel it off, plug it into a cigarette lighter, and you're ready. So it has on the next slide, we show the actual components of the main components. There's a lot of stuff here. Of course, there is the dash cam component, which automatically, you don't have to do anything. It automatically records the video and audio both inside, outside the vehicle, and it does it at nighttime as well because it has some infrared LEDs. There is a touch screen, so you can use it to for emergency support. You can get to your portal and things of that sort. And like I said, it takes less than a minute, about 30 seconds to install. Basically, the device, as it keeps recording, and it records every time it's connected, it uploads all the data immediately back to a cloud location. So there's nothing anybody has to do. It's automatically done. And the important element here is there is no interference. You cannot manipulate the data and so on and so forth. So that is very valuable. The other component to this solution is the driver portal, right? So driver portal means a list of things that the driver can do from their phone itself. By the way, there are no apps or anything to download in this platform. And the driver portal, driver can do a bunch of things. If you go to the next slide, you can see, one of the first things is help with deactivation, or if you need any help with an incident, again, a whole bunch of things you need, we offer. Again, it's as simple as just pressing the button, and it gives you the support that's required. Deactivation has been in the news lately, and for good reason, because there has been so many instances of deactivation, unfair deactivation, I think. That's the key thing that we hear from our driver community. So what we do, is to address that very directly. So currently, from a deactivation standpoint, if you just press the deactivation support button, what you get is all the videos from the last 7 days, which you can directly send to Uber or Lyft. Again, a click of a button. So this is very important, because what it does is, it shifts the responsibility to Uber and Lyft. Hey, you tell me, because typically when they deactivate a driver, they don't let you know what incident they're referring to, which has caused them to deactivate. So here you're giving them all the data and telling them to let you know which specific issue they're referring to, or a particular ride. Then, we obviously, if they do tell you, hey, there is this particular incident or at this time, then we can provide the entire audio, video of the alleged incident, right? So again, there's no opportunity to manipulate the data and so on. So it's pretty much neutral, and it gives you a complete picture. So it overrides any false allegations. There's a he said, she said kind of thing that happens very often in deactivation. The passenger claims something else totally. So here we completely eliminate that. The other thing we do is we partner with a company called Legal RideShare. These are guys who are proficient in the rideshare industry. They know the Uber, Lyfts, all these guys very well. So again, at the press of a button, what happens is the driver sends the data to the Legal RideShare. They receive it automatically. You don't have to email, nothing. It just automatically goes to them. And then they will review it and call you back, and they give you a free legal consultation. So this is extremely important again. So you have a legal muscle behind you. So this is very, very simple, very straightforward. Again, it's all touch button, nothing to worry about. We're trying to get driver to get the take response, take over the currently they're at the mercy of these rideshare companies fundamentally. Here they're taking over. They're becoming more proactive, and they are pushing the responsibility to Uber and Lyft. So we are hopeful with this, the amount of deactivations will go down, especially the wrongful ones. I think there was one statistic in the LA Times which said nearly 2/3 of the drivers who have been deactivated, out of them 40% are completely removed out of the platform. That's a huge number, and it has, obviously, as everybody knows, enormous consequences. So we try to prevent that.
Yeah. Well, before we go on, a couple of quick questions for you. So, obviously, it's the plug and play system. You just kind of install it, and then it uses the power source in the car, obviously, and it's uploading directly to the cloud. So, in case some bad character gets in the car, something goes wrong, and then they grab the camera. It's already in the cloud. The evidence is already there, so there's not much they can do about that. Now, as a driver, right, and many drivers would probably have you answer this question as far as privacy is concerned. What would you say about that you guys are just collecting data, and is this data sellable? And what do you guys do this with data? Is it encrypted? So give us a little bit of color on those questions.
Absolutely. All the data is encrypted. It goes to a secure storage location, to a cloud location, and that's a massively secure place. Nobody can access. We do not give the data to anyone. only the driver has the ability to request access the data. Again, we made it very simple, so there is very straightforward access. We do not access the data ourselves. So we only sometimes, some drivers are very busy, they're in an accident and things of that sort. Only when they request us explicitly, we will just go and look at the video and audio and send it to them. Otherwise, we do not typically get engaged. It's completely automated. The other aspect is we also we have some features which are pretty interesting. In fact, our whole idea is to deter incidents before they happen. That's an important element. So we actually have an audio alert every few minutes, maybe 15 minutes. You can again reprogram it as you desire, but it tells it that the ride is being recorded and so on and so forth. So that actually we found prevents some bad behavior. People generally are more better behaved when they do that.
Right.
So yeah,
I have one of these, and also quickly, a question comes to mind to viewers who may not be familiar with your company, is when does it start recording? When does it stop recording? Does it, is it automatically during the shift or when you start the car? Just about 30 seconds. Give us about how the functioning of the
yeah,
camera is.
as soon as you start the vehicle, there's power coming into the cigarette lighter. It starts recording and it stops recording when you stop the vehicle. So
Okay.
again, very simple. We kept it very plain. There's no complications. If for whatever reason, let's say the driver is using his car or her car for a personal use, they can just take off the cigarette lighter. It'll automatically it'll give you an alert, because we don't know if you have done it deliberately or by mistake and so on. So it tells you that, hey, your connection is loose. Please know that your recording will stop in 2 minutes or so. So
Okay.
the other one
yeah.
other couple of other very important elements is accident. Right, you can actually detect accidents. If there's an accident, it will not only alert. It'll also alert whoever you want, like your family, or whoever you list as your emergency contact, and it'll allow them the opportunity to live stream right inside the vehicle, so they can see and they can take appropriate action.
Right. So the other thing is, obviously it's a subscription-based formula, right? Subscription-based dash cam. So a lot of people were asking questions already, saying that, okay, well, it's $25 a month, but do I get the camera? So give us like few
Sure.
right there, right? So because we do have a special for all the viewers until April 15th, actually.
Yes.
And I think it's a pretty fantastic deal, to be honest with you. It's a 20% off their already discounted 25 per month fee. I'm pretty sure, I mean, $20, you guys are spending it on a Happy Meal, okay, or a Big Mac meal at McDonald's. So for your safety, I think $20 a month is nothing, right? But so DisplayRide and Abdul were kind enough to offer the RSG viewers a 20% additional discount until April 15th. So talk a little bit about this, and also like what's $20 going to get them, because a lot of companies come up with oh, it's just $20 a month, and then all the bells and whistles, you add all the add-ons, and then it becomes $50 a month, and people don't want to get duped, obviously. So talk a little bit about that.
So absolutely, our goal is very, very clear and straightforward. We operate with integrity, and our focus is to help. If you look at all our material, you'll see we are looking out for the rideshare drivers, because we think that's a community which has generally been ignored by everybody. So we are kind of focused on that. So we are mindful of the economics. They don't. A lot of the dash cams costs 400, 300, 800, whatever. Right? We have reduced that. What we have done is we got no upfront payment. We just asked $20 especially for your viewers, and it includes everything. It includes, we offering it as a service. So we'll send you the camera. It's fully loaded with software. It has a wireless card. It has a memory card. It's a very expensive camera, just so you're aware. That is why we require a 2-year subscription, because we also have to, it has to make business sense, right? And so we're being generally very transparent about it. It includes just generally everything. So there's nothing to worry about. There's been one question that some customers, some drivers say, because, a lot of drivers do, may not want to continue driving and so on and so forth. So we recognize that. In that case, what we say is, look, if you are discontinuing it, we'll ask for a $50 one-time termination fee, and just send the device back. That's basically what we say.
Okay, so they're getting the camera. So to summarize, look, I think this is a necessity, guys, these days. you know, when people ask me as a driver, what camera do you use, I always say DisplayRide, just for the fact that you don't have to mess with SD cards, you don't have to mess with memory cards, you don't have to download, upload to your PC, whatever it is, right? It's directly going to the cloud.
Yeah.
And your protection just for your safety. I mean, $20 a month, I think, is nothing, to be honest with you. But is there anything else you want to add, Abdul? I mean, we appreciate the deal, obviously. So again, it's until April 15th. Whoever uses the RSG as a promo code is going to get it for 20 a month instead of 25, which is already discounted at 25. So is there anything else you want to add or summarize?
I think, we're excited to be here. Our goal is to reach out to as many of the rideshare community as possible. And as you indicated, this is a must-have. It's not like good to have anymore. It's protecting them. And also one aspect is, not too long ago, there was the International Women's Day, right? So it's important. A lot of women drivers feel extremely safe as well. We're having more and more women also, driving nowadays, so they feel extremely comfortable with this. And the fact that there is a live streaming capability right in just a touch of a button, and that's amazing. We've found incredible use cases, and we are very privileged to help the community, and we look forward to working with you and the rideshare community. We're here for
Yeah.
you.
Well, I mean, much appreciated that you show up, spend some time with us. There's a couple of quick questions I need to ask you because these are valid and I don't know the answers while you're here.
Sure.
One of them is, that's one question. How long does it record continuously?
Okay, it records, it records pretty much up to 6 hours. And then
Okay.
it basically, because, for a lot of technical reasons I won't get into, it records 6 hours at a stretch. And then it will again start recording the next second. The reason is we have to reboot the computer for something, for some technical use, for, just to make things okay. But yeah,
Okay.
but fundamentally from your side, you will not know anything. It will be recording. If you drive for 24 hours, it will record 24 hours, 48 hours. Like I said, everything is uploaded to the cloud, so we are not bound by any storage limitations. So
Okay, and one last question. That's one, but while you're answering that, I'll pull up the other one. The Roxy says, "What if you use different cars?
Yeah,
Can you
Sergio,
move
hold
it
on,
to other
hold on.
cars?"
Sergio, you're skipping ahead.
Oh, okay,
See if
sorry. Okay,
you,
that one. Yeah.
yeah, the USB connection, right? We prefer a cigarette lighter simply because it is there, first of all, in pretty much every vehicle. The other thing is, we need a 12-volt, power. So it does. Yeah, a lot of guys use a cigarette lighter to USB connection. You pay like a few dollars, $4 or something on Amazon, and you can use it as well. That's not an issue.
Okay, and last question would be, and I know this person does use rentals and different cars and drives in different states.
Yeah.
But if you use different cars, can you move it to other cars?
Yes, absolutely. You can see our device is so simple, right? All you need to do is just plug it in and stick it. And then you can actually, you can just slide it out. You can just slide it out like this, and you can
Okay.
put it out to another thing.
Okay.
We may need two mounts, of course, or two bases rather, and we'll be happy to supply them to you.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Abdul. Much appreciated.
Pleasure.
Again, RSG as a promo code. If you go to their website and use RSG, you guys get it 20% less than the monthly fee, which is 25. We appreciate you coming on. I think it's a necessity these days, to be honest with you, for every driver out there, just for the peace of mind, if not anything else, really.
Thank you so much, Sergio and Chris. It was great being here. Look forward to working with you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks. Take care. Bye.
thanks for coming on.
Bye.
All right. So
All
yes,
right.
that is the code right there, RSG, which you can enter and you'll get it for $20 instead of 25. So a nice 20% discount there. Also, there was a comment question, Jennifer, about taxes. I'm going to answer that real quick. Yes, we have quite a few videos on taxes, so you can check that out. We have videos, and then also if you go to the rideshareguy.com, there are articles on there as well, which will talk about taxes. All you got to do is just go into search, type in taxes or tax. There's quite a few different articles, as well as a really good tax guide over on the site. But there are also some videos, so if you want to check those out, you can.
Does it record the interior?
right.
Yes, it does. Megan says, does it record the interior? Yes, it's a dual camera, interior and outside, obviously.
Yep.
Inside the car, yes. Okay, there we go. I think it's a necessity, right? Don't you think, Chris? I mean, it's like $20 a month. Where do you not spend $20 a month? I don't know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, especially these days. I mean, with everything going on, you have no idea, and it's just good to have that extra peace of mind. So,
I agree.
having a dash cam is extremely important. And somebody put in there, it's going to be most likely a tax deduction. Which, yes, it's going to be a business expense. You're using it for business, and that's all you need to worry about. So, again, when it comes to taxes, that's something that you should have a CPA doing and helping out with, because they can help find all those different types of deductions and things that you can actually do
Yep.
coming down to it. But the biggest thing is just track everything when it comes down to it. And having a dash cam is definitely going to be helpful, especially something that now goes to the cloud, because Sergio, as he said, somebody could just grab it and throw it out, but they already have the evidence right there. And so a lot of people aren't realizing that that is the case, and so they're getting screwed, which is a good thing, because, well, too bad, so sad. You shouldn't have done that in the first place. So
I agree. All right.
okay, all right. So we got Jay. You're already beating me to it right here. Could you do a video on how much extra you make on XL versus X? Yes, I'm actually doing that. I'm currently in the middle of it, going between X and XL just to see. I'm running a couple of different tests, so stay tuned for that. That probably will come out in a couple of weeks, because there's a few different things that I want to do. I want to do just XL only, X versus XL, so like mixing them in between, to see which one's paying more, and how often you're getting XL rides versus X. Obviously, that's going to be something like market dependent. So you could be getting a lot of XL rides in different markets, but yeah, definitely going to be working on that. So stay tuned for that. Yes, in Buffalo. Oh, you're in Buffalo? Awesome. Where at? Um, let us know. Let me know. Maybe we can meet up. But either way, we have a really big video coming for you too, that we've worked on for a couple of weeks. And this is, instead of 2 phones, we have 4 phones of people that were sitting in the same exact area, and they were able to see the different ride requests that were coming in. And there were quite a few notes that I had to take while I was editing through this to make sure everybody knew exactly what was going on. So I have 30 in 5 minutes, 30 discrepancies when it comes to how it was priced for rides, how it was priced for Boost Plus, because not everybody had the same Boost Plus, not everybody had the same Surge. And it was pretty interesting. Ragey Music, what's up? In Buffalo too. Awesome. Welcome. So yeah, we're gonna get into that now. Sergio, did you want to kind of kick this off or anything? You're on mute. You're on mute. You got to click the unmute button, bruh.
For my coughing reasons, I have the mute button. So, so anyway, we had this huge event in downtown LA a couple of weeks ago called Curbivore. About 75 drivers showed up, from delivery to rideshare drivers. And you know what do rideshare drivers do when they get together? They get to whip their phones out and then try to figure out what the heck is going on in Uberland. And we had this test done from Chicago with 2 phones side by side. And this video got posted on Facebook pages and uberpeople.net, and people went nuts. And how dare that they send different pricing to different drivers. Well, we already knew this was going on. So all we did was we whipped out our phones and put them side by side, and we said, here we go. This is what Uber does. So, and again, I just was the facilitator of the videoing of the stuff. Everything else is on Chris, and Chris did an amazing job as usual putting these side by side, because these were all individual videos, by the way, and to sync it, to put it side by side. So give Chris a hand, huge hand, because without him doing this wouldn't happen. But we're gonna keep doing this because we think this is not I mean, it's shady, obviously, but it may not even be legal. So, but that aspect is a different story. So with that said, this is the first time I'm seeing it myself after editing, so let's go.
Yeah. So just a couple of things to note for those who are listening and maybe driving at the current moment. You are going to hear some of the Uber requests, some of the trip radar, some of the things going on. So just please be paying attention to what is on the video and what we're going to be talking about versus using the actual app itself. So I just want to make that distinction before we go on. And then those who have PTSD of listening to the sounds, I'm sorry, but I did want to have something going on. So it would help when we were pausing the video and showing the screenshots and all that stuff. So we are not currently on screen because we want to make sure that it gets the full amount that it can. You see 3 phones on here. 4th phone's going to come on in a minute, but everything is synced up to the time. So as you can see on these 3 phones and then the 4th phone, it will change the time specifically at the same frame, essentially. So it is at 3:50 in the afternoon when this test was done. It was about 5 minutes. There was about 30 different instances, and there could have even been more. There were so many ride requests coming in at different times that, you know, I may have lost track of a couple of them. So if you see them and you're like, hey, there was this ride request that you missed, by all means, let us know, because then we can just add to the different instances. But yeah, so quite a bit. First, right off the bat, you can see there's differences on these 2 phones versus the 3rd phone, and even the surge. So if you look, you see the first phone says it's $1.75 included for surge and $1.50 Boost Plus included. You go to the next screenshot of the same of a different phone. They have a $2 surge and $1.50 Boost Plus. Then you go to the 3rd phone, and they only have $1.75 surge with no Boost Plus. So as you can see, it's already picking and choosing between drivers that are literally standing next to each other doing this test. So there's the next one. And all right, right here is the first. Again, if you look, all of the surge is actually aligned right now when it comes in, but 2 other phones have 150 Boost Plus. One phone has no Boost Plus, and another one has a $2 Boost Plus. So right there, you can see. Can we give the context of the 3 drivers? Sergio, can you give the context of the drivers on this?
Yeah, absolutely. So 2 of these drivers drive EVs. They drive exactly the same car, a Tesla Model Y. One of them is I'm on a regular. Actually, I'm the guy without the boost. Actually, everybody else seems like they have boost except me, so I'm the chosen one in this one, which happens to be the 2nd phone. The EV drivers obviously know they get $1 credit, and the other thing is one of the EV drivers had 3% acceptance rate. None of us had more than 20% acceptance rate. Okay. And lastly, the 2 EV cars are basically the 1st and the 3rd phone, and the 2 gas cars or ICE cars are the 3rd and the 4th screenshots that you see. And we both can do X, and we were all set up at X and Uber X, period. Obviously, the EVs could do higher platforms. So, but they were all set at X. We were all set side by side. The phones were literally laying on the table side by side. And you guys will see the difference. I mean, you know, the cancellation rates were very similar, and acceptance rates were very similar as well. But the first phone, from what I can recall, has the lowest acceptance rate of 3%.
Okay. Yeah, and somebody just wrote that the it's not the same addresses. No, I know that. What this was highlighting is how surge is semi-different. In this screenshot, it wasn't. It was the Boost Plus, where one's $1.50 difference, one's $2, and one phone doesn't have it. So that's kind of this first breakdown, just showing you that, yeah, it's going to be driver specific on the types of surge that they're getting, and even the boosts that they may or may not be getting. So Boost Plus, unfortunately, I don't have in my area, so I'm not the in and out of that. That's something Sergio has. But Sergio, there was a question, says, isn't your rating determined your boost and bonus? You know if that's true or not.
Say it again. Oh, no, it does not determine the actually My rating is 496 with over 7,000 trips, and they all have 496, 498 ratings. Your rating has absolutely nothing to do with the boost, and I was the only one that did not have the boost. So my rating is, I would say, is 496 is pretty decent after 7 years. The other thing is that, you know, none of this stuff really makes any sense to me, just for the fact that why would everybody else have boost and I will not have boost? But you know, it is what Uber algorithms decide, and I don't think it should be that way. Like, we're side by side. Why 3 drivers have boost and I don't have any boost? I'm not sure why. And one comment says, Uber doesn't care what you say. They're not going to tell you who accused you. They're not going to give you. I don't think that has anything to do with this video. So yeah, let's run it and let's
No,
see.
I think that's from DisplayRide, the
Oh,
segment
okay.
before. So, all right. Well, when it comes to questions and stuff like that, we will star them, and then we'll get to them after this segment. Regarding to this segment, just so we can kind of keep on, because even though this is only a 6-minute video, it's probably going to be a little bit of time as we're going through everything, just to keep you guys posted on that.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get right into some of the things when it comes down to the actual run of this. All right, so right here, this first one, you can see is different. They do have the same surge, the same boost plus, but the difference is that the price is just about $1 difference. Not even, it's just randomly different. So you can see the first one is $27.51 and the other one is $26.57 when you compare the two. And it's exact same pickup, same drop off.
And these are the 2 EVs side by side, by the way. So it's not the dollar EV difference on this one. And there is another trip difference right here.
Now this one is this is actually 2 different rides, but the whole thing is it's the same exact distance. So if you look at the address, this says Beacon Lane and Eldridge Ave in Inglewood for the destination, and the pickup is a little bit different. So this is actually 2 different rides. And you can see because the rating for a particular person is, instead of 4.86, it's 4.78. So this could be potentially 2 different people trying to go to the same place, who are either friends or something on it. But you can see the 2 different rates. So you have one that is 1977. Again, same pickup and drop off, but they are coming from 2 different riders for 1977. And then the other ride is $24.14. And that's about $4.50, something like that right there. When it comes to difference in it. And you're still going the same exact pickup and drop off, even though it is 2 different rides, just to make
note though, Chris, one of them is on TripRadar, which is, Uber is notorious of doing that. Like, they will be shopping this on TripRadar for a different price while they're pinging another driver for a different price.
Nope, so that's not really true. Well, you'll prove that in a little while. What comes in might be a penny or 2 off, but most of the time it's actually the same price, at least from the ones that I've seen when it came from the TripRadar back to an actual request coming in. So that's not really true. That's out the window there.
But you do realize the one on the darker screen is on TripRadar, right? It's not a ping.
But still, that's got nothing to do with it when it comes down to how they're pricing rides. So so if you're getting a TripRadar and then all of a sudden it comes to you, it's going to be maybe a penny or 2 different. Sometimes it might be a little different, but most of the time it's going to come in at the same exact price or even lower. I've seen it lower one time too. So but the reality of it, it's mostly going to stay the same as is.
So one of the other reasons this test is important that we're doing in California is because Uber and Lyft. Yeah, you go ahead and run that.
All right, so right here you can see 2 different rides, or I'm sorry, 2 rides again, different pay, and you're getting, the only difference is the $2 when it comes to $2 plus, but in reality it's not even a $2 difference. So you see $804 for the one ride with the $1.75 surge, On the other side, you see $9.97, which should be you think would be $10.04 when it comes to a $1.75 surge with a $2 boost plus included. So some of these numbers that they're pulling are so arbitrary. You have no idea where they're coming from or how they're even pricing these things.
Yeah, because they don't consider miles and minutes anymore. They just kind of whip it out of the box and go, here it is. You want to do it? Do it.
All right, right here, you're seeing a couple of different things here. There's quite a few rides on this, so it's hard to break it down. But the big thing is, if you look at the two rides on the left screens, they're the exact same at the top. So you see it's South Hill with West 6th Street to South Figueroa, West 18th. If you notice, the middle phone has top tipper rider. The other phone does not. So again, that's another difference that I was noticing too, is when it came to a top tipper notification, which everybody wants to know exactly what that is. Essentially, Uber says that they're more prone to tipping than the average rider. But you think that notification would kind of go to everybody instead of, again, just arbitrarily. So that is something to notice there when it came down to it. And then same thing, the other trip radar at the bottom there, underneath on those two phones was the exact same kind of thing. So you see on the left side, it's 25.47. You're getting 225 surge with a $1.50 boost. On the other side, you're getting 24.14 for $2 surge with a $1.50 boost. And again, yes, that is trip radar, but it is showing up differently. And even though it would be 25-cent difference, you're not seeing a 25-cent difference between the two prices of 25.47 and 24.14.
Yeah,
You're
what I
seeing
noticed,
a dollar.
what I noticed up top on the 849 trip, right? All four phones got shown the same trip, pretty much, right? That's the same trip, correct? Isn't it? Because it's like
It's South
starting
Hill.
with,
No, it's different trips. If you look, the first two phones are the same
the
trip, that
first two are the same.
849.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, the other two trips, those are the same too. That's but they're those two rides are different. So you have East 12th and Town Ave going to South Figueroa and 20th. So they're two different rides. But again, you have one that's 804 with the $1.75 and then 997, which we talked about earlier. So it's not even a $2 difference when it comes to that Boost Plus. All right, so moving on. All right, so this is where there's two different trips again. I'm sorry, two of the same trips, two different prices. There we go. And you can see the $1.50 when it comes to Boost Plus, but it's not exactly a $1.50 difference. It's a little bit different. It's close, but it's not. It's like $1.40 something. So again, when you see a $1.50 Boost Plus, it's probably not. But think about it. Remember how we talked about nickel and diming?
Yeah.
How many times are they getting those nickels and the dimes out there?
Well, I mean, a lot of people are going to say, well, what's the big deal here, right? What are you guys doing here, right? And then we're going to say, well, the big deal is if you're, out there 6 hours and you're going to pop maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 trips. And on each one, from a driver to the next, you get gypped by 50 cents or $1 or 20 cents, whatever it is. And over a month, you're losing tens, if not hundreds of dollars compared to because you have some sort of other algorithm working with you as opposed to some other driver is. And nobody knows. So we're just trying to focus on this one issue that I don't think I should be treated differently than anybody else because I'm an independent contractor just like the other person is. Why is this person offered a better fare? Now, if we were not side by side, I would give Uber every, excuse saying that, oh, things change. No, these are all trips starting at the same place, ending at the same place. Circumstances are the same. Time of the day is the same. Everything is the same except that we're just two different human beings in cars. That's it. And it shouldn't be like that. That's all we're saying.
Yeah. Exactly. And it just shows you that the numbers can be very arbitrary and completely change. And again, when it comes down to a nickel and a dime on difference, that nickel and dime over billions of rides, again, 2 billion last quarter, 10 cents on $2 billion is a lot of money. That's $200 million that if they can squeeze out that nickel, that dime on, that can change a lot when it comes down to the profit that they're claiming versus not. So it's just a way that they're squeezing drivers. And this is just to show you how the pricing of things can vary between drivers that are in the same exact area for the same exact conditions, as Sergio had mentioned. And talking about that, that's something that definitely varies between what it would have been on a per mile and per time distance. So we'll move on now. All right, so this one is, again, 2 different trips that are coming in. So you can see, again, very similar when it comes to the Boost Plus that's there and the Surge. The only difference is there's actually a price difference. And even if it's just a few pennies, that's a few different pennies that you could have had versus what they're going to have. So you're getting, that nickel and dime again. So if that driver A takes 27.51 and accepts it versus the other driver, it says 27.58, that's 6 cents difference right there that Uber could potentially pocket because that person accepted it at a lower rate than the other person, and they don't even know about it.
Yeah, I agree. And then we don't think this is kosher. So
the other thing is too, when it comes to trip radar, one thing I noticed when it came to this, trip radars go out in groups. I don't know if you know this or not. So what it does is it will go out to a group of drivers in that particular area for a certain amount of time. Then it will say this trip is no longer available. And that is basically, it's taking away from that trip radar portion to that driver. And then they're going to send it to the next batch of drivers. So it's not like everybody within that particular area is getting it. Some drivers are, some drivers are not. So when you see this request is no longer available, that's likely because it's been reassigned to another batch of drivers, and your time has kind of queued out on it, just to make you aware of that. And then when it says like this ride has been accepted by another driver, that means another driver actually had taken it, just to let you guys know when it comes to that. All right, so we went through those first 2 trips already, and then it got pinged to the driver, which is driver 3. So again, same exact trip that came in, and now it's being offered to this person because they didn't have that $1.50 difference when it came to Boost. It's $25.06, which is about instead $2.50 difference. So they're getting the same surge, but it's coming in at a $2.50 difference than the other 2 drivers that had it offered. So instead of you thinking it would go up over time because they're trying to match the rider, not necessarily. It's actually gone down. You think, again, with that $1.50 boost not there for that driver, that it would be 26 and let's say 26.06, not 25.06. So instead of a $1.50 difference, you're seeing a $2.50 difference. So that right there is a much different thing. So instead of that nickel and diming driver, now you're dollar diming that driver.
Well, the other thing I want to preface here for everybody who's going to watch this now and later, which I'm sure this is going to be plastered in a whole bunch of different social media or other driver websites. Here's my point, okay? I am 100% sure that what is happening now with upfront fares is a full-on auction system, okay? The driver is getting what they're getting after the passenger has confirmed and ordered this trip. As we all know, the passenger has upfront fares as well. whatever the passenger gets is being looked at and by the algorithm by the millisecond, obviously, and is offered to drivers, literally like an auction. Who wants to take it the lowest? Okay, I'll raise it a little bit more. I'll raise it a little bit more until somebody bites. There is a lawsuit in California, which we are going to have the plaintiffs. Actually, we had them 6 months ago, and then there has been some developments, and we're going to do that. There's an antitrust case that's going on. Okay, and this is important to understand. This in an antitrust case. The reason they're doing an antitrust is because there is something called price fixing. You cannot do that, right? So when I say that the passenger already knows what they're going to pay because they have their own upfront fare, and them coming and doing this is, just according to that lawsuit and the counsel that we have spoken to, is not legal. So we will give you an update on that. But that's all I'm trying to say. This is not just shady tactics. I do understand, everybody's run by algorithms these days. But once the price passenger knows the price, what is the reason for them to offer 3 different prices for the same trip that they know they're going to charge 45, let's say, for this trip? So what the algo is doing is, look, can I squeeze another nickel? Can I squeeze another dime? Can I squeeze a 50 cents or $1, or in this case, $2.50? It all adds up to their bottom line, and I think this needs to stop. That's all we're saying.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on. All right, so you got these rides right here. Again, these are all the same rides coming in for different drivers, and they're all different prices. So everybody has $1.50, or I'm sorry, $1.75 surge included. Some have $1.50 Boost Plus, some have $2 Boost Plus, and another has 0. So you can see the first price with the $1.50 Boost is being offered at $19.77. The one without is $18.39, which is actually pretty close to $1.50 in this case. Again, it's not exactly because it's really $1.30 and change. So it's not really the full $1.50 there. And then the one with the $2 boost, again, that is actually 50 cents more at 20.27. So this one was actually pretty accurate for the most part. The difference is, though, when you're looking at boost versus not boost, you could see that even you'd think it'd be 18.27, which would be the $1.50 or the $2 difference, but in this case it's not. It's 18.39. So it's actually a little bit different. So again, it's the Boost Pluses aren't actually being true $2 or $1.50 more compared to a phone that does not have Boost Plus. Go on. So you could see a lot of craziness going on here.
Lots of pings in
there was
downtown.
there was a point where there weren't too many rides that were coming in that were the same, and that this is kind of it right here. But you could kind of see how certain things are going on, and then but yeah, you can see how crazy it is when it comes to downtown LA.
Yeah, while you're running that, I'm going to answer a couple of questions. So one viewer said, why is, do we know how the algo is treating one driver over the other one? There were 2 similar cars. They were both Tesla Model Ys. The person actually, I looked at, just compared those 2 to each other. The driver with the 3% acceptance rate, by far, out of maybe 12 or 14 matches that I know of, got the better offers. So it's obviously not acceptance rate because he had a 3% acceptance rate and the other Tesla had maybe like 20% acceptance rate. So actually, ironically, the guy with the lower acceptance rate got the better offers between the two identical cars. Another comment was, we must be running out of material. That's why we're showing these things. Not really. I mean, I think this is an important issue.
If hold on, if you enjoy getting screwed, then don't watch.
By
If
all
you don't
means.
want to get screwed, then and you know what's going on, then you might want to keep paying
and
attention.
in fact, he
because
was questioning the illegal. When I said it's illegal and it's price fixing, and he was like putting up the Google definition of price fixing. When we do have the legal counsel on in a couple 3 weeks, who are in court and the lawsuits continuing, although Uber tried to push it to federal court from state court, that didn't work out that well for them. So the lawsuit is continuing, and you can come and listen to the legal counsel if you're not buying what I'm saying. But we're not here to make excuses. We're just kind of pointing out that as drivers, you must understand you're getting screwed out there. Now, we know we are, but we just want to know how badly we are. That's all. And I just don't want to be treated differently than the drivers sitting next to me. I mean, why? Why am I getting treated differently? So, is it the gamification, gamblification, all that good stuff? Maybe, but I don't think it's legal. So, we talked about this a few months ago about the FTC looking into discriminatory practices of these gig apps. There is issues in here. So, we're not saying we're gonna fix it. We're just pointing it out. When it comes to fixing it, we'll work on that next.
Yeah, but not only that, is this the questioning of conditioning drivers to start accepting, lower and lower trips for the same exact trip? That's the other thing. Like I say, if you look and you're seeing, if you have a base rate, let's say, where driver 3's phone does not have Boost Plus, and they're telling you $1.50, $2 extra in Boost Plus, or in Surge, where one driver is getting Surge over the other driver, again, for the same exact ride, same exact circumstances, one's showing Surge versus not. The biggest issue with that is you can see 5-cent, 10-cent differences, sometimes a couple of dollar differences. And that, again, if that's being accepted by drivers who are continuously accepting lower and lower rides, that means they're pricing themselves lower and lower. And in turn, it's going to be a problem, because then you are driving for peanuts at that point. You're offering your services, at a loss in several instances as well, too, if you're not paying attention to your costs. So these are all things that are playing together when it comes down to it. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be shortchanged, 5 cents, 10 cents, because that adds up over time. Again, 2 billion trips. How many trips did you take? If you could have gotten 50 cents more on each trip, how many trips did you take last week? How many trips did you take over the past year? How much would that have added up in differences? So yeah, it's something that you should probably want to know and pay attention to, especially to protect yourself on these ways of them trying to lower and lower, because we've all seen screenshots already and shown them that the Surge shows a higher plus percentage than the actual ride that they're offering. So you might see a ride that comes in at $5.56, but it says plus $6 Surge. So how does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, on this is like pretty clear indication right here, right? This is 2 on trip radar, 1 actual ping happening, and they're identical trips, all 3 of them, all 3 different phones. It starts at 1617 on the low side, goes to 1896 on the high side. This is the same damn trip, same damn person, right?
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. Tell me why this is. Anybody can tell me why this is? Why is there a difference between the first guy and the third guy of a difference of $2.75 for the exact same job? Why am I worth $2.70 less than the first guy? I'm not sure, but we're going to figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just better to be aware of everything, so you make more informed decisions, is essentially what it comes down to. Right here, again, you're seeing this actually, let me see if I can pull it back. So right here, you can see that phone has 1617 that was on Trip Radar. And then when it pops up, same exact trip, now it's coming in at $16.20. So you got 3 cents difference between the Trip Radar price versus the ping price. And again, as I've been seeing this and comparing, these screenshots to and from each other, a lot of the times it will be the same between Trip Radar and what it is ping at, no matter what. So just to keep that in mind when it does happen.
Chris, this really reminds me of to remind everybody to go to read Vina Dubel's article, which she'll be on in a couple of weeks, hopefully, is the house always wins, right? And we did a great snippet on it, and it was ridiculously popular. And this kind of, goes to that. And she called it perfectly. She said, algorithmic wage management. I mean, I cannot say it better than that. This is algorithmic wage management. One guy is worth more to me than the other guy. Okay. If this is what the world is going to come down to, good luck to you guys. And we're trying to just talk about it and open some eyes. And, and I think we're going to get somewhere with this. We keep doing it. So that's it.
Yeah. Concurred. But the other aspect of things too is, they say that equal pay, equal work, equal pay. This would be the exact same thing right here. Now they're systematically looking at a particular driver, everybody else in this chat, everybody else who turns on their app, they all have their own little algorithms that the master algorithm works and says, oh, I know what you're going to accept. I know what you're going to deny, and I'm going to try to exploit it as much as I can. So again, it's just being aware and knowing exactly what's happening. And then being able to see this happen in real time too is pretty nice. All right, and then right here, this again is just something I noticed when it comes to how Trip Radar works. So it says trip is no longer available or another driver matched to this request. So that again is just to know how Trip Radar actually works. So they could be shopping it around to multiple drivers in different batches of drivers. So that's why you may not see a particular ride coming in. And you may be at the same area as another driver kind of comparing. So that's just kind of let you guys know exactly how that particular aspect works. And going on. Now right here, you can see two different, again, you're seeing one ride coming in at 26.28, and then the other ride, same exact ride, is coming in at 27.04. And the difference here too is the one that's lower in price has a higher surge rating. So that one says it's $1.75 included, but it's also paying almost 80 cents less than the other ride, which is only getting $1.50 added in surge, which is also including both the same at $1.50 boost plus. So again, this is where these numbers are not making a lot of sense when it comes down to why that would be indifferent than each other. But the first phone is constantly getting pinged higher than the second phone when these two compare. And you said these were the two that were the EVs, correct, Sergio? Right, Sergio? The first two phones were the EVs that were the same exact car?
Yes, the exact same car, exact same place. And ironically, like I said, he had the lowest acceptance rates out of all of us. He added a 3%.
There you go.
There you go.
Not saying, I mean, we can't say that that's definitive proof, but it's kind of going in the way. If the algorithm realizes, oh, you're not going to take peanuts, it may have to entice you to do a little bit more with a little bit higher pay.
Yeah, Aaron Lavender, yeah, but those both already had the EV in there. This is like a head-to-head kind of exact comparison, actually. So they both already had the dollar EV credit in there. So,
yep, it was pretty eye-opening though too.
Who loves Trip Radar? Does anybody like Trip Radar?
I don't know. I have no idea. All right, right here, you can see 3 different phones all get the same ride, and you can see the price difference between the 3 of them in quite a bit. So, as you can see, the first phone comes in with they all have a $1.50 surge. Again, one has 150 Boost Plus. The middle phone has no Boost Plus,
That's
and
me.
then the
That's
last
smart.
phone has a yeah. But then the last phone has a $2 Boost Plus, and you can see all different. So the first phone's getting the same request coming in at 25.83. Then the middle phone, Sergio, is 24.33. So
Poor
why are you
schmuck.
getting paid less?
Poor
And
schmuck.
then the last phone is getting 27.33. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty interesting there because you're getting there's nothing difference between the first and the third phone except for 50 cents difference on Boost Plus. But
Yeah.
that's almost that's a what, $1.50 or something?
Yeah.
Almost a little bit more
Yeah.
when it comes to no, yeah, that's $1.50 right there in difference instead of 50 cents. So and that one on the right is not that's a gas powered car. So those who are saying, oh, you're getting that extra dollar, that's not what it comes down to it. That's a gas powered car. The EV is on the
Some
left.
people are saying like Sergio wasn't offered because he didn't accept it. Your first part of the comment is correct, sir. I was not offered it. I will accept it if I'm going to take their lousy $1.50 boost, which is garbage anyway. But yeah, I'm not being offered much. I'm out of love. Maybe they're watching it too much and kind of weaning me off. You know what I mean? I don't know. I doubt it. But you know, we're not going to get to that part of the commentary there. So yeah, I mean, I think you know, this is something easily you guys can do in your own cities. If you want to dabble into it, just have some fun side by side with another driver or two. You know, it's kind of an interesting thing to do. I mean, we have a plan with this. We're just not doing this because we just want to show you guys this. Okay, so that's it.
Yep. Yeah, it's quite interesting though. Here you can see all the phones got the ping request for this particular ride, and every single phone is completely different. So quite unique there. Surges are different. You're seeing 250 included with a $1.50 boost. You're seeing 225 surge with a $1.50 boost. You're seeing 225 surge, no boost, 225 a surge, $2 boost, and all the pricing is different. So 1896 for the first phone, 1771 for the second, 1617 for the third, and 1920 for the fourth. So right there, you're seeing a massive difference between how they're paying each and every single person for the exact same ride. Now, would you like to be the person that's making 1617 for the ride, or would you rather be making 1920 for that particular ride? I don't know about you. I would much rather be paying or getting paid the 1920 for that same ride.
J777, you're misinformed. The extra dollar is included in there. And if we get the same trips, you will see it. The promo, it will show up as a promo on your weekly, but it definitely is in there. So you know, when the ping comes in, it's in the upfront fare.
Yeah, that person's phone had frozen, so reopening. And you see the 2-trip difference right there. Let me tell you, that was a lot of fun with that. Again, right here, you're seeing 3 phones with different prices, 2 pings coming in, and then 1 trip radar. Again, all different. You're seeing a $1.50 surge. One's got 175 surge. One's got another got a $1.75 surge. And you're seeing 2704 for the one, 2628 for trip radar. And then little Sergio gets 2478 offered for that ride when it comes down to it. So That's again more than $1.50 difference when it comes
I'm the
to
orphan.
changing Boost Plus.
I'm the orphan. And I'm the orphan, man. I'm just that Uber doesn't like me. And you know, there is one. You can keep playing it. There's one comment I want to enter to. I hope you have opted out. Okay. So that when we do this, if we do it in court, then you get some out of it. Invisible River Ranch. There you go. That's the way. I hope you opted out. We have a video on how opt out of the TOS, so you know. Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely quite interesting though to see the difference between all the phones. Sergio, you were constantly getting pinged the least.
I have
The first phone,
second highest acceptance rate. I think I had.
At
19. I was at 19, so I think I had the second highest acceptance rate. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been unique to see how if you would have had the Boost Plus. Were you even offered Boost Plus for this?
No, I haven't. I've been offered Boost Plus for a while now.
Okay, so yeah, that's the other thing, because a lot of people in the chat were saying, yeah, you have to accept into it, which yes, you do. But the problem is,
if you're not
offered it, if you're not offered it, you can't accept it. So that's the big thing there. Otherwise, yeah, you'd be accepting it all the time. So
you know, all these people that are saying that, you know, you guys do realize, I don't know how long you guys been around, right? When you know, in the old days, well, not even a year ago, you didn't have to accept anything. If you offered Boost Plus and you're there, you get the Boost Plus. Now the game has been elevated to you must accept it. I'm like, yeah, the reason they do that, by the way, Chris, is a lot of drivers don't understand it, is that then they're going to know what kind of supply they're going to have out there. You know what I'm saying? Because if I accept it, they know I'm going to be out there, so they kind of go, okay, I'm going to have 8,000 drivers in this neighborhood between these 2 hours where I'm offering Boost Plus. So, you know, you guys are being played, man. You guys need to understand this. This gamification, gamification part of it, I'm telling you, you guys need to understand this. They don't, why do I have to accept a Boost Plus? Why do I have to accept it? I just show up. No, it's not good enough? Okay. All right.
And then here is, again, this is one that has all four the exact same ride, and they were all requested, and they all came into each phone at different times. This was actually a ride request that came in, and this person was sitting 2 minutes waiting, because if you look at the one phone, it's 351 when it came in, the original, and it's 353 for the other phones that all these ping requests are coming in. And again, they're all different prices. So you're seeing 2661, 2637, 2487, and 2787. So yeah, you're seeing all different prices for the exact same ride. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be Sergio. I don't want to be accepting 2487. I want to be accepting 2787. But I mean,
I mean, to be honest with you, look, I'm not going to deny this, right? That trip at that time of the day, right, and taking me from Santa Monica, taking me from downtown LA to Santa Monica, I think it's a decent trip. I would take that trip without even knowing that $25 for a half-hour work or 37 minutes of work is decent, because when I do get there, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get banged with another decent one. And at that hour, Santa Monica is surging anyway, so that's the trip I would do. Well, without knowing that the other guy was going to do it for $27.87, $3 higher than me. I'm like, dang. I mean, I would do that. You know what I mean? I would definitely do that too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, looking at it, you know, for 40 minutes of your time, and you're making, you know, 27.87 if you're the lucky phone, versus 24.87. But you know, still, I mean, even 24.87 isn't too bad. And when it comes down to that type of trip, because again, you know, less than 40 minutes. So that you might get your 30 or your 37 an hour, but probably not.
Yeah.
But either way, again, you know, when you're looking at the max to min, you're going $3 difference between the two. So, yeah, I don't being cheated on. Same thing right here. You got a couple more rides that are coming in, priced completely different. So you got 28.47. You got 24.87 for that. That's what, $4 difference right there. Oh wait, no, hold on. I apologize. There's too many screens I'm looking at. It's like um
Yep.
oh,
Jay,
this
you're right.
the
Jay is
the
right.
bottom two is different. So it's 2602 versus 2551. So that is what you're seeing there. And
Well, the top two, right? I mean, look, man, he's right. He says that's more than 10% difference. It adds up for the week. No shit. Not that I want to cuss today, really. But yeah, man, if you're out there 30, 40 hours a week, that 10% here, 5% there, at the end of the week, you kind of shortchanged quite a bit. And I don't think it should be that way.
no. And again, the biggest thing is when it comes down to it, are they preparing drivers to be able to accept
Yes, sir.
a few cent lower each and every couple of weeks?
Yeah.
That's called conditioning and programming. And the question is, are you falling for it or not? So again, right here, you see all the same trip again coming in. And this is a trip that was passed around. This is 3-minute difference between the time frame of when the first ride request had come in all the way to 3 minutes later when it was introduced to the fourth phone. So you can see again, even between that amount of time, there's not that much difference because the first phone was offered 2704 and the last phone was offered 2729. So even right there, you can see it's not that much difference when it comes down to it. Even the boost, or I'm sorry, the surge was different. You had $1.50 versus $1.25, and then the boost. So in actuality, the only difference was 25 cents. Which in this case, that's exactly what it was. It was 25 cents. So if you change the Boost Plus and the Surge around, that's exactly what had happened. So they didn't change the pricing at all. Again, you would think that over time they may change the pricing higher to make it more appealing for that. But this particular ride, who knows? Maybe it was like a wait and save or something. And they're like, oh, we'll get it as low as we can, and then once somebody finally accepts it, then it is what it is. But yeah, you can see between the times, it might be hard for you guys looking, but yeah, that first phone on the left came in at 351, and the next one was at 354. So 3-minute time difference right there between rides. So again, it just shows you all difference. Right here, Serge, what was that? 6 minutes away. This Uber X, 6 minutes away thing.
1.4x,
With 1.4x.
Yeah, there are some trips that will come in like that. There's two reasons for that to happen, by the way, Chris. One is when a passenger does not enter a correct address, or what they will do is they're new, they'll put in starting and ending spot as the same address, and then they'll send me the multiplier. I've seen that quite often. The other thing is when, and that's one clue that that you're about to pick up that passenger, but it will not tell you where they're going because, they didn't enter a correct destination. But you will get those as multipliers, and when you do run into those, take them, especially not at 1.4, but if they're like 2x, 2.5, 3x, take those.
Yep. Here's another one. The only difference is you're getting a $2 boost versus no boost, and then $1.75 to $1.50 surge. But Surge, you're getting offered $19.59. The other driver is getting paid at $22.34. That's not $1.75 difference. That should be $1.75, but in fact, it's actually quite a bit more. So you're almost at a $3 difference between these two rides, and it should only be really $1.25 when it comes down to the true difference.
He drives a Honda Accord, and we're both doing comfort. Obviously, we both got the same trip. So he had boost. I didn't have boost. I had a little better surge than he did, but then ultimately it shouldn't be that much of a difference.
So again, when you're seeing these surge prices, these Boost Plus includes, not really true.
Yeah.
there's your 5 minutes away, 1.4x. But
Yeah.
then so that came up in the trip radar too. I saw that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, these rides again, same exact ride. One driver is getting 28.43. One driver is getting 27.69. Another driver is getting 26.17. And the surge is 25-cent difference from $1.25 to $1.50, $1.50, and then you're getting $1.50 and $1.50 boost difference. So even the first two, you look, that one phone should be getting 25 cents more, but they're actually getting like $1 less than
Yeah, I mean, the
one
first
in
two are the
TripRadar.
Tesla Ys, right? The first two are the Tesla Ys, and there's quite a bit of difference between the two. Same identical cars, same boost, surge maybe
Yeah.
25
And
cent
you're
difference.
getting, it's what, 80-cent difference right there.
Yeah,
So
and I know whose phone that is, by the way, so I'm not going to say their name, but you're getting gypped there, buddy.
yeah. I don't know. I think Sergio broke the phone with that 1.4x though.
Yeah, I was like, I had enough of this shit. I'm like, come on, you know.
Yeah, so there's two rides, 11.54 to 12.54. Now that's a $1 difference there too. You know, some of it was somewhat accurate when it came down to
They keep
these
sending
things,
me
but
that. Do you see that thing? That's
yeah. I mean, some were accurate when it came to it, but it was very far and few between when it came to these numbers. That was like $1.50 difference or $1 different or whatever it should be. You know, even right here, you're looking, you know, 37.87 to 38.15. You're seeing that trip there. You know, that's South Olive. You're seeing 28.43. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, there's too many here to keep remembrance of. Oh yeah, right here. So you got the trip radar. This one says it's not active anymore. It's no longer available. So they're getting offered 22.35. You, my friend, were only getting offered 20.81. So you're getting a $1.50-ish difference there.
I have to call.
Which
I have to call Uber this week. I say, hey man, what's going on here?
So that was unique there too.
Yeah.
Could the difference be because of the percentage of stars, acceptance, and cancellation? No, the person who had the least cancellation, or I'm sorry, the person who had the highest acceptance rate was getting paid the lowest, and the person that had the lowest had the highest pay. So, not saying that is a true thing, but you know, it's definitely something to look into more when it comes down to it. And with that being said, that was the end of that when it came down to all of this. So, as you can see, yeah, we have had some very unique pricing when it comes to this, when it comes to the pricing structure.
Yeah.
So yeah, we want to make you aware of that because, you know, why would one driver have to get paid less than the other driver who's doing the exact same thing? I don't think you want to be that driver that was Sergio is.
Or the invisible rate, or the one that bites it all is getting screwed. I don't know if that's me or not. You know, B Julia 33 has two great comments there. Every time I hear that bell, yep, you're trained. You know, my article is coming out this week, and I'm telling you, I'm urging you, please, and I'm gonna post that everywhere, Twitter, whatever it is. It's really well done. Not because I wrote it. I mean, this is one of my really better pieces in the last 5 years, Chris. And it's so appropriate how the training happens in the first 2 months. You know, that all honeymoon period, they give you the nice quests, and then they wean you off, and then, you know, and then the punishment happens, and then the reinforcement starts happening. You know, all these things that it just kind of dawned on me after I spoke to these behavioral scientists for the last couple of months. It's 2 months worth of work in that article, and it didn't get edited that much actually, which I was surprised about. And I'm telling you, man, everybody should read that. That should be the Bible if you're starting the business. I'm telling you, seriously. Don't get trained, get injected.
Yeah. Well, the big thing is, if you guys want to see how it acts, just get together with another driver, or another couple drivers or something, and see the rides that are coming in, and then see what you're getting paid difference and all that good stuff, because
Yeah.
you know it is quite amazing to see how things are different, and there's no real rhyme or reason onto the reasons why.
Yeah.
Because like I say, when we're putting it all together, you know, even the Teslas are not making as much as the Honda Accord, which
I
is
both know the Tesla drivers. They were there next to me, and I know these guys. They're from LA.
Mhm.
And one was like, how is it that this guy with 3% acceptance rate is getting better offers than me on every single damn trip? And I'm going like, I don't know, man.
All right. Well, Serge, how you doing? Are you able to finish out?
Yes, sir.
Or
Let's push on.
okay. All right. Well, we got a
Sergio,
couple
where's
of
the
topics that
article?
we.
Sorry,
What's up?
Sergio, where's the article being published? It's on our blog, which we had a facelift. Sometimes now I'm having a difficult time finding my own articles there. But we're trying to talk about it. But I will definitely post that on the next Show Me the Money next week. We'll put the link in. Please go read that. It's going to be an amazing read for you guys. Not that long. It's like 7 minutes. Okay, come on now. So
Yeah. So big thing here is just said that proves AR doesn't matter, and you're right. It does not matter.
no.
AR does not mean a damn thing when it comes down to it. And the other thing is, let's be real. Those who had a low acceptance rate to a higher acceptance rate, they were still getting offers no matter what was coming in. So that's the other thing. I mean, obviously, LA is a much different beast than maybe a smaller market, and most markets for that matter. But when it comes down to your correct position, your correct timing, the other P's that we talk about, these different strategies, you're still going to be able to get out there and make some money. The question is, are you making as much money as your next driver right next to you or not? And that's where you got to do your own sit down, see what's going on, compare your phones, screen record them and send them to us. Let's see the difference. And then give us the details there when it comes to acceptance rates and type of car that you're driving and all that good stuff.
And give Chris a hand. It took him 2 weeks to do this. Seriously, this is not easy. There's like 30 pings, 4 phones, match it side by side, do all this stuff. I have no idea how to do it. But he did a great job. So there you go, Chris.
Oh, thank you.
And we're gonna and the next one we're gonna do is actually on the passenger side. I just want to see how badly the passenger is getting screwed on this deal. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we know we're getting screwed.
that would be that's the next. And then somebody had put they want to see Lyft on there, so hey, maybe we'll do that. Hey, anybody who's in Buffalo, Chris at the RideShareGuy.com, shoot me an email. We'll get together, we'll do this on the Lyft app. We could do that, and then we can see what happens there. So anybody who's watching that's in Buffalo, let me know, or get hold of Sergio if you're in LA at Sergio at the RideShareGuy.com. But moving on, let's talk about some other things besides how you may be not getting the correct pay. But either way, Lyft. Let's switch it up to Lyft a little bit. Yeah. And they are a changing. In fact, I don't know if they're sucking on the what's the have you ever watched Fantastic Fungi or whatever on Netflix? It's a documentary that came out maybe 3-4 years ago. And essentially it's resurfaced because of The Last of Us with the fungus. And no spoiler alert. I mean, come on, we all know The Last of Us is an apocalyptic show, but yeah, it was like it begins with an M, and I can't remember. It's like but when the fungus comes up, you got the mushroom, but underneath the ground, it's like this network that allows trees to be able to communicate with each other. So, question I want to know is the little tree starting to get the lifeline from the little mushroom underbelly of the world to the big tree that Uber is? Because it seems like they're taking a little. That's it, mycelium. Thank you very much, Stephen. Appreciate that.
There you go.
Yes, I wonder if the little dying Lyft tree is sucking the mycelium from the Uber tree, because they're coming up with a lot more that looks just like Uber when it comes down to it. So
yeah. These are all from my app, by the way. Well, I was like looking at it the other day. I knew something was like different because we never in LA. So I'm in LA. We never had like a true penny surge. It would be like $3, $4, $2, right? Or it would be like now we're down to 25-cent increments. I had not seen that before. So I'm sure other cities
wait until we get to the penny increments.
pretty soon. Yeah,
They're gonna
I have
do.
other
They're gonna
cities
do instead of 450. They're gonna do 426.
yeah, okay, so I don't know why they did it for, but they did it. Whatever. Good for you, I guess. I don't know. Maybe to steal another quarter. Another 25 cents at a time. I don't know. However, this first one is from my app as well. The second one is not, but the middle one. The first one is. You know how these people always talk about, $36 per active hour and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So it seems like that language is leaving the room, Chris. It says St. Patrick's Day, right, which was last weekend, ride demand boost. Okay, cool, fine. They would always put like, if you drive between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m., you will make $29 an hour. All those estimates that they throw at you, right? So look at the language difference on this one. So it says, it could get busy out there. We expect increased ride requests Friday, March 17th, 6 p.m. to 4 a.m. Exactly. For illustrative purposes only, results may vary. Figures based on earnings in the driver's primary region from the past 14 or 28 days. Okay. Drivers using Lyft earned by the job. Is that new language? It is, isn't it? And it
I
says
think it's
they
kind of
earn by the
clarifying.
job, not by the hour. So I guess we're not going to get any more of those, 36 active hour quotes anymore. That hit
It's
me
very
kind of.
possible. I think it's because we called them out so much that they're like, we can't do this anymore.
You can't put putting 36 out there because
No, I think the thing is, I think they're dismantling the active versus online because we're letting everybody know the differences, so they can't really say, oh, it's 36 per active hour, but in actuality, on an online hour, it might be only like 12.
12, yeah, and or maybe FTC is coming. I don't know, right? Because that's deceptive.
I don't
You
know,
can't
maybe.
say 36. So that's a huge language change for me, and I'm kind of interested in why they go. Do you earn by the job now, people? Forget the hours. Hours are meaningless. Okay, that's it. We just earn by the job, which is fine. Okay, no problem. But so that was interesting. And then the second middle screenshot, you guys know.
Well, hold on. Before you go to the middle screenshot, I going on. There's a little bit more, and it says the hourly earnings communicator, no guarantee of future performance, not indicative of specific driver earnings, and calculated before taxes, insurance, depreciation, and other costs associated with being a rideshare driver. Honestly, I kind of like that a little bit more because they're kind of clarifying things that may have not been clear beforehand, when it comes down to the costs associated with things.
I love that.
So
I love that.
I think that's good.
Personally,
I got to say I like that.
I love it.
And I think that they're being more clear. And you might be right. It could be coming because it could have been something that the FTC said you have to be more clear when it comes to driver earnings. I think this may be a preliminary thing of what we're seeing, maybe before FTC to business versus FTC to public. So I think that could be something that is kind of clarifying things a little bit.
Okay, so Lyft, I'm sure you guys watch this anyway. We have like these education series that we talk about constantly. Know your cost per mile, blah 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 blah, all that good stuff. We can work on this together with you guys to show that the drivers are not making $36 an active hour. I mean, I'm just saying, but we're willing to work with you on this one. So you guys can hire me and Chris, and then we'll stop doing Show Me the Money.
I need a lot of money up front. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I like how they're spitting out more information just 100%. To give the people the knowledge, because that's something that we've been harping and trying to let people know. You got to know your costs. You got to know those things. And, to have them start coming out and saying that, I'll give them props. I got to give them props there, whether it was forced by another entity or whether this is them actually saying, hey, look, we want to clarify things or not. Either way, it's good to see something like that. So
okay, look, you've been around for a while. So have I. Have 7 years on Lyft for me, right? I've never seen this before. Have you ever seen this before?
No.
That we get paid by the job and then your expenses are important and all that shit? I've never seen this before.
Not that.
I'm like, okay, great.
I've always seen you could earn up to 26 an hour driving between 2 and 4 a.m. On Saturday. And it's like, well, there's a lot of other hours during the week. Am I going to be paid that too?
Oh,
But
I
yeah,
love
I don't
it.
know. I don't
Great.
know.
Congrats, Lyft.
But I like
Good
that.
job.
If you like that too, let us know. But going on, yeah, if you want to talk about that middle screenshot, then
Yeah, the
where
middle
you got the
screenshot, this
select
is
bonus.
exactly like the Uber's, staggered, like one. I mean, they had this anyway for ride challenges, obviously, but it wasn't like this. This exactly looks like Uber's. Okay, like how you get the staggered quests on Uber during the week and weekend, right? So it'll be like 50 for 75, and then if you do 10 more, it'll be like 85, whatever. This looks exactly like that now, which is fine, and those are decent. I mean, 60 rides for 135, and then you do 90 trips. 90 for 305 is as good as I've seen it actually on Lyft for a while, and this is current, this is new, so. I'm like, if you guys are gonna, do a bunch of quickies, it's not a bad quest
Just
at
for
all.
those who are watching, if you don't have this in your area yet, or you haven't seen it, or you're not familiar with how it works, there will be a video that Joe is working on right now on the challenge. So stay tuned for that. He's going to dive into the challenge, how it works, and kind of give you guys all of the info on that. So if you're not really familiar with it, then you will be able to know and
Yeah.
be very informed there. So stay tuned for that. It is coming.
Yep.
And do we call it lift surge?
Yeah. No, I don't know. Penny surge.
or do we just say lift by the quarter?
By the quarter? Hey, I like that one. Yeah, by the quarter. Surge by the quarter, baby. It's like by the pound. Surge by the quarter.
Well, either way, yeah. Now you're starting to see instead of the surge is changing a little bit. So, yeah, I don't know, but it does seem that they may be looking at um, Uber and trying to do it a little bit more. So I don't know. We'll see. What are your thoughts?
I don't know, man. I on that I honestly, for me, look, man, we're here. We're trying to do a decent job. Anything that we can do for drivers to improve just an incremental bit. Okay, to me, that's the most important thing. That's why we're doing this. And I honestly, at some point, it becomes so mind-numbing that all these games are so necessary just for a simple task of picking people point A and dropping on point B. Why is this all
Oh, I know,
necessary?
right?
Why
It's
is this
become
all
so
necessary?
complex.
So
It's
simple.
crazy.
Come on.
All right, well, let's shift it a little bit, and we're not even going to be talking about rideshare right now. We're going to be talking about food delivery.
Yeah, let's do
Now,
that.
we did mention recently that food delivery, an app called Grubhub, has been deactivating drivers based on acceptance rates and them not having good acceptance rates. Now, Uber and Lyft, don't matter what your acceptance rate is. You can accept or deny every single ride coming in, and it doesn't not matter. Grubhub does matter. So, Sergio, I know you want to talk about this. This
I
is
definitely
a
want to
very
talk about this.
interesting.
Listen, this is going places. Okay, listen, people. I'm serious. We did this a couple of weeks ago. Okay, this is a collaboration between me and Zach. Zach Drives Fast, which is one of our contributors. He put up a video that Grubhub, he had like 15, 20 drivers in Vegas that had to be his subscribers, told them that, oh, we all got deactivated within the 2 hours of each other for the same reason, which it says here in the email section 4. So we dug deep as usually we do. Then we did a video. Then we put the snippet out. Snippet got like 45,000 views, and dozens of people came forward. Oh, me too in Norfolk, Virginia. Me too in San Antonio. I found 2 guys on Twitter. Me too in Houston. Me too in this. Me too in that. I'm going like, this is like a fireball now. Now we have like 100 people who got deactivated by Grubhub for low acceptance rate. How are you guys going to say, how do you know it's low acceptance rate? It's because we called Grubhub. We have a recording. Their support said, yeah, we deactivated you for low acceptance rate unequivocally. I'm like, well, that's not kosher. I don't think you should be able to deactivate anybody. So look, this is going through our channels. This is going to go places. So due to that fact that we got so many people that came forward saying that, oh, they did this to me, they did that to me, they did this to me. I'm like, look, everybody got deactivated for this section 4. We dug into section 4. Section 4 has nothing to do with acceptance rate. My concern in the original video and the video that got like stupid views and still getting views is like, and people coming forward right and left from many different cities, is that if one does this, does it set a horrible precedent for other companies to do it? Because these companies are like, monkey do, monkey see, whatever it is. They'll just copy each other. And what is to say that DoorDash is not going to deactivate people with low acceptance rates, or Uber Eats, or Uber, or Lyft, or Instacart, or whatever? So we want to kind of nip it in the bud, but we're in the process of getting a legal opinion on this, and we're also in the process of collecting names and phone numbers. That's all we're doing: names, phone numbers, and email addresses. Okay. I need, please, everybody to go to the show notes. If you're one of those people, all we're doing is collecting names now. We're going to fight for you guys. Most people don't look like they care about being on Grubhub or not, but that is not the point. You should not be able to deactivate any independent contractor for not accepting trash offers. Okay, that's all you guys did. And I give you that Grubhub, please. They all had low acceptance rates, but they had very also low cancellation rates. So this is going places. So please go sign that. It's not a petition. It's just a collection of names and emails, so we have contacts. And we want to get a head count of how many people are we dealing with here. 100, 200, 500? Because it seems like they are purging a lot of low acceptance rate drivers to replace them with fresh blood so that they can accept all the trash $2, $3 offers. At the same time, I have a very high suspicion that Grubhub was sold to this European company, I think, for $7 billion about 4 years ago. And now they're trying to get rid of this company. It's called Just Eats. It's a European company, and they cannot even get $1 billion for it. What they paid for $7. Okay. I think what they're doing is they're trying to make their numbers look good by having some new drivers accept some, more trash offers and, do their thing. At the same time, as you know, they also they also deactivated their own CEO this week, which is you do know they're shopping this company around, and then Grubhub CEO exits amid turmoil. And he didn't exit; he got fired. And then, of course, you have the obligatory.
He got deactivated.
He got deactivated, yeah, for accepting nothing. And he goes, "I'm incredibly proud of what this team has accomplished, and will forever value the relationships I forged here." DeWitt said in a statement, "Grubhub is in great hands with Howard." And it's not in great hands, sir. You were the leader of the food delivery business before the pandemic, and now look where you are. So let's not kid ourselves. But besides, I put this in there because they're really cleaning house, from the CEO all the way to the drivers who don't accept enough offers. So I'm like, okay, then forget the CEO. We care more about the drivers. I'm not saying anybody, listen, no promises. I'm not telling you guys that I'm going to get you guys back on the platform. We don't operate like that. It's none of this. We have different plans. I'm working with Zach on this. Please go click on the forum in the show notes and fill in your name. So we want to get a head count of how many hundreds of people we're dealing with.
And this is only for drivers who were deactivated due to the Section 4 thing. So if you got an email like that, check out the forum. It's right in the description right here. On YouTube, and also if you're listening on the audio podcast, it should be in the description there that you can check out the form, fill out your info, and basically, it's something Sergio and Zach are working on. They're going to be talking to a legal team very soon as well, just to get clarification on this and try to nip it in the bud. So then, acceptance rate does not become an issue or grounds for deactivation, because if they're offering you trash rides or trash food orders, I'm not going to operate at a loss. Why would I want to do that? I don't.
I think it's
and I don't think you want to either.
No, I don't. I'm not. So, but please go sign it. If you're deactivated. If you're not deactivated, don't go sign it. But if you're deactivated, last 3 weeks by Grubhub with the Section 4 cut and paste email, which all of them had Section 4 in there. Please go put your name and phone number. I don't even think we're asking your phone number, but email address and name, so we can get a head count. There you go.
All right. So that's the Grubhub drama. So a lot of drivers were getting deactivated Section 4, and now the CEO got deactivated. So
bye.
Good work.
Have a nice day.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about some issues coming in New York City. New York City has had a slew of issues coming when it comes to personal safety and things like that. But there are people who are targeting rideshare drivers. Unfortunately, happening all over the country, not just in New York City, but this is the latest thing that we have when it comes to the scam, what they're doing, what they're targeting. So this is something that you want to watch out for. So Sergio.
So pretty simple. I mean, there's like a gang of criminals doing this. This is really prevalent in New York City. What they do is they go in each incident, the group requests the driver to change the destination before taking the victim's phone. So what they do is they get in the car and tell the driver to change the destination. You know how you can edit on your phone? And then they grab the phone and take off, get out of the car. And then once they have the phone, they change the victim, obviously immediately they can change anything they want because they have the physical phone in their possession. And the police are looking for it. There is the dash cam video, which we cannot show, but there are gangs out there that are doing this. There is also, we're going to talk about a new scam that's out there, which you guys need to be watching out for. So yeah, and this is the one. So and this is from Florida. CCPD received several reports on scams involving Uber and Lyft drivers. Poor Uber and Lyft drivers, bro. As if they don't have anything else going on. There is a new scam going on. Why don't you guys go scam some of these coders at Uber and Lyft people? I mean, come on, man.
Why don't you just don't scam? Go out and work an honest buck.
I don't, man. It's like, come on, man. So anyway, Lee County, Florida, the Cape Coral Police Department has received several cases over the last week in reference to scams. Okay, according to CCPD, look at this scam, Chris. They have received several phone calls from residents from scammers stating they were with a law enforcement agency or a law firm. Okay, there you go. These scammers will say a family member has been arrested or was in an accident and ask for funds for lawyers to bail money, but that doesn't very dense. This is where the Uber driver comes into play. The victims are requested to go to their banks and withdraw thousands of dollars and place the funds in packaging to disguise it from delivery drivers. Well, we talked about the Uber Connect, right? So basically what they do is they call an Uber. They get the Uber guy, meets the guy with the cash and then puts it in the car. And then the poor Uber driver will take the cash to the people who are, scamming normal people out there. So then an unknowing rideshare driver will show up and pick up the money. Imagine that you get just pulled over after that stuff, bro. Your life is over. And then deliver it to another location outside the city. CCPD says no law enforcement agency or law firm would send drivers to pick up cash or packages. No shit. I would hope so. You know what I mean? So this is another thing that's going on. And then we're going to talk in the next segment. There is another scam going on. This time involving delivery.
Before we go into that, I want to give a little bit more info on this particular scam itself. This is called it's actually called the grandparent scam. And how it works is they do a lot of background info on you. So they'll find out as much info as they can from you to target you. So this could be a scam that, they've been setting up for quite a while. And then, they could, use software or something that will make it seem like the person that they're talking about is actually in trouble and use audio from them or something like that. It's a very sophisticated scam. And it is, unfortunately, mostly targeting elderly people, but not always. And what they're doing is they're using phone spoofing software a lot of the time to make it seem like it's coming from that person's phone. Like, let's say grandson Johnny is calling grandma, is saying, "Oh, I'm in trouble and I need help and I'm in a law predicament issue." The thing is, that's not the case. That's not how it works. So it goes beyond rideshare. This goes to your family. Let them know these scams do exist. Look up the grandparent scam either on YouTube or do a quick Google search to exactly show how the scam is set up, what they're doing. But then the scam, when it comes to what the Uber and Lyft driver is taking part in, is the transfer of money. So essentially, what a scammer would try to do, and these are mostly overseas scammers that will do this when it comes to like refund scams like Amazon and the like, Geek Squad, whatever. What they'll end up doing is they'll try to get you to go to UPS and send a package to a money mule, and then they'll have that person working for them and then send it to on to the next level. But the problem is These are usually scammers that are in that particular area, and they're targeting. They may not be in that area actually. They may just use a money mule and then an Uber driver or a Lyft driver to connect the package to that money mule. So they're trying to bypass these UPS and FedEx, because what UPS and FedEx will do is they'll scan your package. So they'll tell you, put all the money into a book and wrap it. So this is something to watch out for. You see, mostly an elderly, because like I say, this mostly targets elderly people who has, a shoebox size package, and you see that, ask them, is this money? And is this for, is somebody saying that you need to provide law enforcement? Or if you hear them talking about that, you should know automatically that's a scam, and help that person. Say, look, this is a scam. We're not here to take money or anything like that when it comes down to it. Work with them, help them out. Because like I say, most of the time they are elderly. And this is thousands of dollars, sometimes tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've seen, 40,000. I've seen 200,000 where people are getting scammed out of. So this is something. Please be a good be a good neighbor, community member. Let them know exactly what's happening in the event you see something like this. It's usually going to have packaging. It's going to look weird. It's going to be a shoebox size, and they're probably going to look scared a little bit. They're probably going to look a little nervous. And if you're able to get some sort of conversation out of them, if they say anything about law enforcement, if they say anything about in jail, a hospital bill is another thing. Something with hospitals, that is definitely a red flag. Ask them a couple of probing questions and see exactly what is going on.
Yep. And Chris knows this stuff inside out because he used to scam scammers. There you go.
Oh, yes, I do. It's
There
so
you
much
go.
fun to screw with them.
But yeah, that's just to let you guys know. So yeah, if you're getting some weird looking packages and things like that, it's very easy to question the person and say, look, what's going on? Is everything okay? Because you're watching out for people. And
Yeah.
if you think that there's something weird, nefarious or anything, you can always go to the local police department and let them know what's going on, and they can look into it a little bit further as well too. All right, so that's all I wanted to say with that, but I did want to make that abundantly clear. But yeah, definitely check out the grandparent scam, because that is a real big scam, and they are using Uber and Lyft drivers. And not only that, these refund scammers are starting to look at that as well too. And they can target pretty much anybody. But again, if you're seeing a weird shoebox size package or something, and it just doesn't look right, maybe they look flustered, they look confused, something like that. Just ask a couple of questions and see what you can do. All right, let's move on to the next. When it comes, sorry, next slide or next thing. All right,
This is
so let's
going
talk
on.
about this Uber Eats mystery.
By the
What
way,
is going on with this Uber Eats mystery?
You know what, Chris? I actually today I spoke to Shauna Hussein, who is the LA Times writer, and an article came about this. This is now scamming. This is no joke. People are ordering these like food right and left, and they're calling the driver, right, the delivery driver, and scamming them, emptying their account, saying that we're Uber support. Why'd you deliver that food? You delivered it incorrectly, and getting all their information and emptying their bank account. So LA Times broke the story, but this was going around. So there is an area LA called Highland Park, and people were literally like getting food or by the hour, not by the day. Like the whole street was littered with packages and food because somebody's ordering this food and it's showing up in front of these, people's houses. They're getting free food. I mean, they're eating. I mean, mostly McDonald's and Starbucks. So I was like, why can't it happen to my house? I'm like, I don't get it. So
I know, right? I gotta order food in order to get food.
yeah, no, these people
just
were
doesn't
like,
magically
look
show
at
up.
this. Like, Highland Park residents have been inundated with unwanted fast food deliveries from Uber Eats arriving at all hours of the day, spurring an investigation from the food delivery. But LA Times is coming to the bottom. It may be a driver scam, another driver scam, this time targeting delivery drivers, calling them and saying, oh, you delivered the wrong food to the wrong address. Give me your information. I'll fix it for you. And boom, they're taking your money. Before you know it, the whole street was lined with bags of McDonald's and Starbucks, and nobody could explain. Said Morgan Courier, who has received about 30 of the mysterious deliveries. People have getting 30 to 40 orders a day. I'm going like, man,
He's
I mean, that's a little too much McDonald's probably, right?
well, I mean, yeah. What's going on here? I don't know. I mean, what are your thoughts on this
I don't
besides
know. I
doing
think
the
there's a
scam
computer glitch or
aspect?
something. I mean, look, somebody's placing the orders. Okay.
Yeah.
It's going through the Uber system and it's being delivered. Everything is working correctly, except that Uber cannot tell you what's happening. Uber has no comment on this. Uber goes, we're going to look into this seriously because the system is not detecting anything because order is being placed, order is being cooked, order is being delivered. Boom.
Yeah.
Uber
So
has no idea.
it essentially looks like everything's okay, but in actuality,
No.
where did it come from? I mean, it could just be a good Samaritan and they're
No. I
saying, hey,
don't.
look, we're gonna
No.
get food, but I don't think so.
The funny thing is that some residents started complaining, saying that, I got tired of eating Big Macs. Can you guys order something else? I'm like, I don't know if they're being facetious. I mean, you're getting free food, but first of all, you shouldn't even be touching that shit. What if think about this, right? What if it's laced with some shit? What if it's like, I don't know. I mean, who knows? There are people out there who are crazy doing stuff. What if they're just going to poison some people? I don't know, whatever. But my thought process is, if you do get the free food, be careful eating it. Okay, there you go.
Yeah. I would say if you get the free food, call up the company that ordered it, or whether it's DoorDash, Uber Eats, or whatever, and see what kind of try to piece it together. But yeah, I mean, honestly, beyond that, nobody really knows exactly what's happening. But either
Yeah.
way, again, another scam to watch out for if you're doing Uber Eats or anything like that.
Yeah, please do
Or
not. Uber
DoorDash,
will never
Grubhub.
call you. Uber will never call you. Do not answer
No.
the phone. Uber support will never call you. Period.
Well, I think the big thing is not. It shouldn't be just some of the calls. I think every single call that comes from a customer, it should say, this is the customer trying to connect with you. It doesn't do it on every single one.
Yeah.
It does it on some of them. And they
Yeah.
need to do it on every single one. So then you
Yeah.
know, hey, this is the customer. And listen to that message. Don't just be like, hello, hello, hello. Listen to the message. It says, this is the customer calling. And usually it'll say something else like, don't give out any personal information.
Yeah.
I mean, there you go. So please don't
Scammers
fall
have
for
gotten
these scams when it comes down to it.
scammers have gotten sophisticated too. They the number you could
Yep.
clearly tell it was a scam. Now they've gotten really sophisticated, man. They get it. They call from a certain area code, which it's Uber calling or whatever, or a customer calling because customer is not giving your Uber number. It comes in LA. It comes from like a 213 area code number. So I kind of go, okay, it's Uber. But now scammers have gotten really sophisticated because they're ordering trips, canceling trips, getting a hold of that number, calling you. All that kind of stuff is happening. So please,
Well,
if
it's the
somebody
same
says,
thing of like, well,
yeah,
I mean, it's the same thing of like ordering a fake ride
yeah,
and then calling up and saying, oh, this
yeah,
is somebody at blah blah blah, and we need to verify certain information. No, you just go to that spot and you wait out the time and you get the cancellation fee. Watch how fast they're going to cancel it if they don't.
yeah,
There was no limitation rideshare. He's had a couple of calls
yeah.
with scammers, and you can check it out on his channel, or he let me use one of his on my channel, Real Rideshare Stories. So if you want to see those types of scams too, check them out, because it's just better to have that knowledge so the setup, how things are going. But yeah, they're changing all the time. So it's something that we want to make sure everybody kind of knows about when it comes to scams, because we want you to keep your money in your pocket.
Yep.
We want you to see the money, not them see the money.
Yep.
And if you want to take their money, well, you can get the cancellation fee too, which is kind of fun. But just be careful on that, because sometimes the scammers are stupid and they'll order to their house. Where you could, if that's the case, you could always, I don't know, call the cops, get them involved. But
yeah, thank you, Caro T818. Thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated.
Appreciate that.
So yeah, don't fall for these things, man. I know, but the problem is that a lot of people don't speak English. They're nervous. They don't want to. They think they're going to get deactivated. A lot of immigrants are doing Uber, Lyft, and they're just false, scam artists. They fall victim, and what can we do? I mean, what can we do? So
yeah. I mean, we can help educate, and that's really what it comes down to. So educate. Again, if you know drivers in your area, or if you hear scams are starting to happen in your area, join local Facebook groups, for Uber and Lyft or whatever platform you're driving on, and see if there's certain scams that are happening. I see them pop up for my area all the time. There's a couple of different groups that I belong to, and I'll see them pop up. So you kind of know what's going on, and that's always a good thing. Because it's more local versus like a national group. National groups are great because you can see what's going on, but when it comes to local, you know what's going on within your area. So just definitely pay attention to that stuff. And another thing when it comes to these companies, sometimes they call you on major safety violations, things like that. When it comes down to usually you making the report, they will call, because I've had Uber call me one time right after I made a report, literally within 3 minutes. So that is a case, but when they contact you, when these companies contact you, they will do it in app notifications. They will do it through email to the email that you have connected to the account. And they will usually send you a text message straight from that particular. If it's one out of the three, like a text message, it's very easy to mask texts coming in. So be careful with that. If you're not seeing in-app notifications, if you're not receiving the email, it's not really that company's support. And again, support is not going to make fake orders. They're not going to say you delivered to the wrong thing. That, again, that's the customer doing that. So please pay attention to that when you're doing these deliveries with these scams. So just be careful out there. All right, let's move on. Let's bring a little fun back into it instead of probably scared out of your ass right now.
I love this segment. Every week when I line this segment up, I'm just cracking up already. So
all right, well, the first one is what I sent you. I sent you this Dash for the Community. This is an ad that is going on YouTube right now, which I forget where I saw this, but I saw this and I laughed my ass off. I'm like, Dash for the friggin', are you kidding? That makes it, and I sent you, I'm like, that makes it seem like they're trying to get you to accept lowball offers just from that. I understand their probable mentioning for that, or their intention is actually like, you're bringing food to people who need it and things like that. But that when I'm looking at it, my mindset is thinking you're trying to get me to take lowball offers.
Which kind of goes together with the second screenshot that I received. So if you're the one in the second screenshot, you will dash for the community at $2.25 base pay with no tip orders. Okay, there you go. So to me, that was hilarious, right? So it's from LA, and the guy goes, "Look at this." I go, "Okay." So Jeff, I know you're not here. I know you're on vacation in New Jersey somewhere. But don't be an ANT. How about that? And don't work for the DoorDash community, or don't dash for the community. I mean, do DoorDash, but make money. Don't do it for free.
Dash for the community to deliver food, but to make money.
Yeah, make money. Make money.
I mean, the reality of this situation.
Don't be Formica right there. Okay, that's
all right. So the next screenshot is pretty funny. I think this is hilarious. Now I did have to censor some things out. So what you're seeing is the time of the drop off, the latitude and longitude coordinates with the address.
I love that.
So that was pretty good right there.
Yeah.
But that's essentially what you need to do.
I love that idea. I do it now. I didn't know that. I mean, now I'm going to do it every time. The reason for that is there is scamming customers that will tell you, initially the order would be meet at the door, meaning knock on that door and open the door and hand the food to a human. But then they'll go, just leave it at the door, would you? And then they'll call Uber and say, or DoorDash, like, I never got my food. I'm like, that's BS. And then they'll probably get deactivated. So this gentleman said, Serge, why don't you do this? Use your metadata on every time you take a picture of the food. And then they cannot say anything about that. I'm like, heck, great idea. So that's what I'm going to do going forward. The location data and all this data when I take pictures.
Yeah. And I mean, for the most part, most of the pictures do have the metadata, which is going to have the coordinates and everything. So it should be right there. But just make sure when you do take pictures, you do have that metadata turned on. So then that way it can track exactly where these things are. So then that way, when somebody says, "Oh, you didn't deliver my food," and then you're like, "Well, here's the screenshot that I did," And you can even put it in the text message right there with that and say, here's your food. I left it at the door for you in the text to the customer, because all that will be tracked within the app itself. And you have that. So great idea there when it comes down to it.
Yep.
And then going on.
Yeah, going on. You know, I'm like, well, this was part of the left one was part of the whatchamacallit, you know, the free food that Uber is showing up all over the place. But again, Sachin, please, this is like every week I'm doing this now. Please, I'm looking like a really, truly an idiot now. I truly believe that Uber was going to purge fake names. I'm getting like a few a week, and I'm picking the best one. Now, that cannot be a real name. Picking up. I mean, come on, man. This is not that difficult, man. You're a computer company or an IT company, whatever the heck you call yourself, technology company. This can't be this difficult to get rid of. Okay? Come on.
Wait, hold on. Didn't we have somebody in the comments a few weeks ago with the name just like this?
I guess. I don't know,
we
bro,
did.
But this is unacceptable.
I think we did.
Okay. Well, you're fired. You should not be on the platform. And
You're
then
deactivated.
Yeah, I mean, you get out. Go away. You know, and Sachin, please. And Andrew Hasban and Sachin, please, people. Can we just fix this at least just this little bit? I know you guys have a lot to do, fixing a lot, but this is like we said, we're gonna fix this anyway. So you know, the funny part is this, you know the thing that we talk about, Chris, the free food that everybody was getting. You know, when you start getting free food, you even start complaining. This is where our society is these days. You're getting free food, and you start complaining about getting the free food, but the same free food. Okay. So it goes about 80% of the time. It was a single chicken McCrispy, Neil told Eyewitness News. When I asked if he likes the sandwiches, he replied, I don't know how I feel about them now. Meaning he's been getting the same damn order over and over and over. I'm like, you're getting free food, bro. Are you even complaining about that now? I'm going like, come on, man.
But here's the thing. If you didn't really like it to begin with, and you're like, oh, this is free, I'll eat it. And then it's like, oh, it came again, and it came again, and it came again. I mean, honestly, there's
you have a good choice.
I mean,
bro.
honestly, hold on, but I mean, hell, eat it. But if you're gonna deliver me food, please make it pizza, because I could eat that all the time. I worked in a pizzeria for 8 years. People told me I was gonna get sick of it there, and I said, and I still eat the pizza every single, multiple times a week. So, that's something I could eat over and over.
Scammers, if you're watching this, please send pizza every day to Chris. Okay, there we go.
I'll eat it.
There you go.
Picasso's. Shout out to Picasso's.
I mean, McDonald's, Taco Bell, Starbucks. It's, it covers all the food groups right there. So I don't know. There you go.
All right. Well, let's get into a couple of fun little comments. The first comment is very fun.
Yeah, well, that's you. I can't do this because I'm not in good shape.
Okay. So we got a little comment from Paul. Paul, if you're watching,
Paul.
we have a rebuttal to you.
Yeah.
And it says, if you are going to be a gig driver, such as myself, good job, Paul, you accept every order. The orders that you lose or break even on will be compensated by the very good tippers. What?
Huh?
I mean, tips are bonus. Let's get that right. Tips are bonus. They're not built in, or they should not be built in, because they're not guaranteed.
This kind of clarifies that what I've been saying. Your delivery is working for tips. There you go. You're working for tips, Paul. Yeah. Come on, Paul.
You shouldn't be. You should be paying. You should be getting paid a fair wage and making money, and then a tip should be a bonus, a thank you on top of it. The reason why bartending staff and waitress and waiter staff get paid less than minimum wage for the most part, or get paid restaurant wage, is because the average tip that they make greatly outweighs the minimum that they would have made if it was just built into their salary.
Yeah.
This was, by the way, not happen.
This was for the Grubhub thing, by the way. This guy was in the Grubhub comment section.
Okay, so to clarify, this is for Grubhub. Okay, So here's the thing. You don't accept every order because you are running a business and you want to be profitable. If you like to eat peanuts and take peanuts, well, then you are getting peanuts. So there you go.
Yeah.
But let's go. Yes, you can decline an order, but now they are losing their jobs. Nobody's losing their job. Who's losing their job? Grubhub? No. I mean, yes, if you're losing your job because Grubhub, well, you have Uber Eats, you have DoorDash, you have Curry, you have Uber, you have Lyft, you have Instacart, you have Shipt, you have 12 million apps that are available out there right now. So if you don't want to work in Grubhub because they're not going to, well, then, hey, they're going to lose drivers and then they're going to be screwed because they've deactivated all their drivers because they're paying shit. So either way, we choose this gig work. Well, you can choose other apps too. And you should be choosing other apps. That's called multi-apping. If we're not happy, then we quit and move on or move on to different apps.
Okay.
Are you driving a fuel efficient vehicle or a gas hog? Well, that doesn't really make a difference there either because, that's just costs of doing your business and you want to be profitable either way. Just because you're a gig worker doesn't mean you get all the great deliveries and none of the crap orders. You can decline all the crap orders and then take all the great deliveries unless you're on Grubhub, which hopefully Sergio and Zach will fix and get that taken care of. This is called a job. No, it's not. You are not a job worker. You are not employed. You are not employed by Grubhub. You are not employed by any app. You are an independent contractor. Let's get that for real. That means it is not a job. You are not an employee. People talking shit about filing lawsuit. You know how long those takes? Doesn't matter. It gets shit done. Especially if regulation has to be involved. And unfortunately, regulation has to be involved on certain things. And again, this is my opinion. So is it better to accept all deliveries or don't accept and get booted off the app than wait years for lawsuit? Wake up. We're drivers, not business owners. Well, you're wrong. You are. And these companies say this is your business. Treat it like a business. We've heard that from DK. We've heard that from John Zimmer. We've heard that from everybody. So, dude, wake up.
That last sentence.
Profitable orders.
That last sentence, right? We're not business owners.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly why. Yeah. Yeah.
Happy end.
You do this to me.
What?
No, you
What's
put the end and then I started coughing. Yeah, there you go. So you should put that ant on top of the graffiti. That way. I'm like, who comes up with this? Who drinks this much Kool-Aid? Did you spike your Kool-Aid, Paul? If you're alive, you can always email me, Sergio@RideShareGuy.com. We'll have a nice conversation. Paul Burnham 9344. There you go. We announced, like, we found our Donnie Disco. So there you go. We're going to introduce him to the world next.
We'd love to talk to you. We'd love to have a healthy debate, and we'll likely agree to disagree at the end of the conversation, but maybe we can understand a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go.
Either way.
Okay.
But yeah, if you want to go on to the next couple of comments.
Yeah,
so
okay.
we had to go with the ant comment. Now we got to go with the other side.
Yeah, well, this is one side and there's the other side. There's two lady drivers, two different cities. Without you guys, we're nothing. Support much appreciated. But every time I read these, I can tell that maybe, we're making some difference. Okay. And I get this quite a bit, and I'm not doing this to pat myself and Chris on the back because we're doing it because we love doing it. But besides that, if we can help and improve somebody's efficiency, and then that shows up through in better earnings, man, I'm just tickled pink. Okay. Like today, as sick as I am, I'm doing this because I want to read this thing. Sergio, thank you for telling us to go offline after each pickup. We did this like months ago, and I'm thinking everybody should know this already, but then I think like everybody's a veteran. No, it's not. See, I think like, why don't you know this? And then I blame the other driver. Then I'm going like, why do you do that, Serge? Not everybody knows this stuff. And then, each pickup to stop the algorithm from giving us crap rides. Great. My earnings went up at least 35%. Hello. Congratulations. And I'm working an average of 1 hour less per day. I mean, double whammy. Thank you, Marty F7, and much appreciated. And also, you are dead on the money about this latest game of opting in for all rides. No freaking way. You guys are the best. Well, thank you for the support. And then Sharon Blakely, you can get in touch with me, Sergio at RideShareGuy.com to Sharon. I started taking Sergio's advice regarding turning my Uber app off between rides and not accepting low-paying rides. Great. I've done this for about 3 weeks now. My acceptance rate has gone down. So I lost my platinum status. I'm making more money in less time. I can do without the platinum bonuses. Thank you.
That's
So,
what we like to hear.
That's
Nice.
what we want to hear. We don't want to hear this other guy saying, you get fired. This is a job. You're not a business. This is a business, Paul Burnham. See that? See, that's how those ladies are doing it. Come join the Show Me the Money Club.
And you know what, Paul? The other side is if you're just doing Grubhub, sign up for multiple apps because nobody is guaranteed to stay on a particular platform, and they could deactivate you for any reason. There's no loyalty. So being able to accept the rides, not necessarily going to be the best. So again, either way, we'll probably agree to disagree when it comes to it, but
yeah, I will. Yeah. So Norma Stitz goes, neither commenter mentions profit. Look, that's what they said. I don't want to say your name. One of these days I'm going to give Norma's name out because I have a video with them coming up. So they're making 35% more, or they're making more money. Obviously they're making more profit. I mean, that comes hand in hand. Norma, come on now. But anyway, so yeah, and we love seeing these. Thank you. Thank you everybody for sending in all kinds of comments and emails. Much appreciated. Keep them coming. I know I was not at forum today, but I'm trying to hang in here. That's it. The rest.
Oh yeah. Well, we got one last thing left.
I know.
And this tickled our fancy a little bit when we saw this, and it was pretty cool. And so this was a unique little thing.
Newer version. Did you see the newer version?
Oh, I have that coming up. But I got that coming up. So
this is, by the way, this is our I Jeff doesn't know this yet because Jeff's not even here. I don't know where Jeff is. I think Jeff is in our Sunshine Man Award, right? The
Yep.
Show Me the Extra Mile Sunshine Award. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. If this gentleman who did this is not the winner, I'm taking Jeff out of judge, jury, executioner situation. Okay?
Well,
because I have his story loaded up to go, and I'm going like, if this guy does not win the $100, there is a fix in here. Period. I don't know what else is there. So that's all I'm.
I don't know. It is a good story, but it will come down to Jeff and other stories that do come in. So again, for those who don't know what Show Me the Money or Show Me the Extra Mile Award is, it's Show Me the Extra Mile Sunshine Award. And that's basically your above and beyond story, something that happened that you had to help out people with, something that you went above and beyond. Send your story to Sergio at RideShareGuy.com. And for the month of March, if you submit it, we have a few stories already in. Great stories coming from everybody who had submitted. Maybe your story will happen. Now, it could be anytime, but this is something that you've done that went above and beyond. And, our good friend Jeff, the Sunshine Man, he is going to take them and he's going to look and he is going to see who is going to be the winner of that $100 award. So yes, if you've got one of those stories, whether it's food delivery, whether it's rideshare, send it in and let us know. And you will be entered into the Show Me the Extra Mile Sunshine Award. And the person that you're seeing on screen right now who is saying, do you want to get educated and put more money in your pocket? And then has the QR code for the RideShare Guy talking about Show Me the Money Club. And then Kim's,
who would do this?
Kim's Side Money Plans and Zach Drives Fast, which is awesome, which we shared with both Kim and Zach, and they were appreciative as well. So Kim and Zach both do know about this. So the driver, if you're watching, they do know, and they were very appreciative of this and say thank you very much. But it has since transformed, and he's got a whole sign there now, and it's highlighted even more. But you know what? There's one thing in this that I got to say. I mean, I know this person was not in Buffalo, but I like the little PS, Go Bills. So You got
Yeah,
my
no,
vote
he's
there.
actually he's not even close to Buffalo. But
No, he's not.
by
But
the way,
I think he's from Syracuse, or at least from the central or western New York area, because the one picture that I saw of him it had Syracuse. So I'm assuming.
no. I'm not gonna give it away, but he is completely the opposite coast. How about that? So roulette
No, I
wheel,
know
thank
that.
you.
I know that. I know
Oh,
where he
originally?
is,
You mean
and
originally?
I'm
Okay,
saying I
could be.
think he was from
Could
the
be.
New York area at some
Could
point.
be.
So
Could be. Yeah.
either way, go Bills.
And
Thank
you
you
know
for
what?
this
You
$5
know,
super sticker. Appreciate that.
yeah, this is awesome. So thank you. Well, he put his name there already. So it's like, okay. Look, I'm telling you, if this guy doesn't win it, I'm just gonna whip out $100 out of my pocket and give it to him anyway. Because this is Jeff. He has to be the winner this month. Okay, so no pressure,
Well,
Jeff. No pressure.
Honestly, it's going to be up to Jeff, but it was a great story. I read it as well too. Great story
come on, man.
of what had happened, and we will be sharing this story very soon. And just to kind of go into next week, that sign right there is going to have to be updated. Just going to let you know there. We are going to let you know next week. There is a big announcement coming. So make sure you are tuned in for that, because we have a big announcement. Bills need a major overhaul. Whoa, come on. They're working towards it. They do need some off-season help though, but we'll make that happen. So go Bills. But either way, yes, big announcement coming next week. Some big changes coming next week. We're going to be very excited for that. And hopefully Sergio will be a little bit more on the ball. He won't be so sick. So he did tough it out. We did plan in the event that he was not able to partake in today, that I would have taken over and been the solo co-host of today.
I will never
but
leave
he
my
decided to tough it out.
You never leave
It's
your
all
partner.
good. Wouldn't have mattered.
No, but
No, it's all good.
Listen, thank you again for what you did with the rides, that you put them side by side. Number one. Number two, if this was like day before yesterday, there's not a chance I'd be here. I was dead. So I'm recovering. Next week I'll be back to myself. But we have that announcement coming up. Very exciting stuff is going on at RSG, RideShare Guy, I mean. And we're looking forward to all the exciting stuff. I have 6 of these stories already. The paid forward stories, Chris. 6. You only got like 2 of them so far. They're all good, but keep them coming. Sergio at the RideShareGuy.com. Somebody's gonna get $100. Hey man, might as well be you. There you go.
Yep. All right, for DisplayRide, you just go to their website, and then if you want to purchase it, just put in the promo code RSG, and that will get you the 20% off. So you will be able to do that. So Megan, if you're watching that, or anybody else too, yes, we also want to thank Abdul coming on for talking about DisplayRide. He is the CEO of DisplayRide and giving the 20% off discount for RSG and SMTMC viewers. So we'll mention that right now. So yeah, if you're looking to get a dash camera, or if you're looking to get the DisplayRide dash camera, and that is the one that will go up into the cloud. So you have that. So in the event something happens, like somebody trying to steal it or trying to break it, in the event of something, it's already backed up to the cloud. So too bad, so sad. They're going to have them have the face. So that is probably the best and biggest reason DisplayRide, but they have a lot more to it as well. But yeah, the cloud-based service, when it comes down to it, is really great. So again, if you want to save 20%, so thank you again to DisplayRide. That is enter code RSG at checkout when it is on the DisplayRide website. So we definitely appreciate them being able to offer that extension to everybody out here who is watching. And another thing, yes, next week we do have a big announcement. So we appreciate if you'd like to watch that next week. Make sure you are here again Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, as always. And we're going to have a good show next week. And we actually have a few good shows coming up that are planned out over the next couple of weeks. But before we get out of here, Sergio, you got anything coming up, or are you just pretty much taking the week off to enjoy?
I am just gonna get over this cold that I have. Now we have lined up birthdays coming up in March. My son's birthday is on the 23rd, coming up in a couple days, so we gotta be healthy for that. My birthday is coming up on the 29th. It's like,
Ooh, we're gonna have to sing
my
happy
wife's
birthday.
is coming up on my sister-in-law's coming up on the 26th. My wife's is coming up on the 18th. April.
So
My
is this
sister's is on the April. Like we got like 5 birthdays in the next 3 weeks. So I'm like, yeah.
Well, we are going to for somebody who's watching, please remember to sing happy birthday to Sergio next week for his birthday on the 29th. So it'll be the day before on the 28th, but we got to sing him a happy birthday.
Yeah, well, I'll remind you of that. I'll remind you of that. There you go.
Oh, you will. Yep. I might forget. I'm already burnt out with all the screenshots from earlier. It's so much. It's like, holy crap. So like just sitting there and like going through everything and like watching it, it's like, oh my God, this is insane. But yeah, so we hope you guys enjoyed that part, because it just goes to show you, you know, the way that this is being priced out is crazy. And there's no real rhyme or reason down to it. So the big thing is, how do you keep your acceptance rate above 85%? You don't. Unless you want to, you don't.
I don't see a reason at all. Why keep it at 85%? Well, no, but you know, we did that snippet yesterday. Was it yesterday? To get another $600 for the, you know, the Uber Pro award, right? A lot of cities.
Well, that is going to be one, if it's even offered to you, you'll see when you open up your app. It's going to be one of those notifications when you scroll up. You'll be able to see what that is. So yeah, if you want to get that cash bonus, but you know, one of the commenters did say that they lost their diamond status, but they're making more, so they don't necessarily need that. But I mean, if that's something that you're looking for, yeah, you're going to have to kind of play within those guidelines, within those rules. But that's when position and timing will really come into effect. So you can kind of get the system where you need it to be in order to maintain that diamond percentage. So it's going to be up to you how you want to be able to do it.
All right. Smash the like button.
All right. Yeah, smash the like button. With that being said, have a great rest of your night, everybody. Have a great week. We do have some great videos coming out for you. Big announcement next week, so make sure you're here. We'll probably announce that, I don't know, somewhere in the show. So with that being said, have a great rest of your show. Sergio, thanks for toughing it out and getting the whole show done. We did have a backup plan in the event that you weren't able to, but you did make it. So, and we actually made it longer than the most. So quite a bit. So we're going to sign off now. And Sergio, go get some rest.
All right. Bye.